now we are going to talk to Steph about her career. Are you good for this?
Yeah,
good.
I'm ready.
Good. We're going to start actually with a question. This comes in from Sarah, so have a listen to this. We'll start with this.
Hi guys, and hi Steph. Just wanted to say a huge congratulations to yourself, to Phil Neville and all the Lionesses after your success in the SheBelieves Cup. I was watching from home and gotta say I was so proud. I think you girls were absolutely fantastic coming up against the best sides as well. Nice goal against the States there as well. But what I want to know is just how much belief will you girls take from this into the World Cup this summer? Thanks very much and speak to you guys soon.
Thanks, Sarah. What a tattoo.
Yeah.
Go on then.
I think, firstly, thank you for your question, but for us, I think going to the SheBelieves and playing against the likes of USA, Brazil, Japan, who were world-class teams, and Japan's in our group for the World Cup, I think we went there wanting to win, but we knew that there was a process to winning, and for us to come home with a trophy with 2 wins and a draw against America, where potentially we could have won that game, we could have seen that game out, but I think for us we do take great belief from it because we've went toe-to-toe with the best teams in the world, and we're scoring goals, we're creating a lot of chances, and especially in the Japan game it was over within the first half hour, and for us it's a great experience, not just for us as a squad but the staff as well, because this is potentially what we could come across in the World Cup come June.
What in your head, what constitutes success at the World Cup? I mean, are we talking about England going and winning that tournament, do you think?
Yeah, I think as players and as a squad, we want to go and win. I think we said that in the European Championships as well. We felt that we had enough physical presence and enough about ourselves to go and win European Championships, and we probably missed out a little bit tactically in the semi-final, but I think over the last 2 years as a team we've developed. We've obviously got a new manager, and physically I still believe we are the best in the world, but tactically and technically I feel as though with the youth that's coming up we have a lot more players that are a lot more comfortable on the ball, and we have a system that allows us to play our best football and hurt teams.
Let's talk then about your manager who you mentioned there. There was a fair outcry in the press when he got the job, because there's not a single woman that manages any male team in the top 4 leagues in this country yet. Mm-hmm. You have a male manager for the national team. It wasn't, obviously, you had Mark Sampson before that, so it wasn't the first time. What was the reaction of the players, though, when you heard that Phil had got the job?
I think a bit of a surprise. I think we'd heard a little rumour. I think, obviously, he started following us all on Twitter and Instagram, which he'd probably give the game away himself. But look,
modern research from a manager.
I think there's a few texts flying around.
Did anybody block him?
Probably. A lot of us will be blocking him now, I think, because he keeps an eye on us. But I think for us, I think to have someone of Phil Neville's profile and his experience and what he's done within the men's game, I think for us we were excited by the opportunity to be managed by someone like him. I think obviously hearing a lot about him before he was actually our manager, his professionalism, his ability to go and win, I think that excited us as a group because we wanted to be challenged, and from the off he's remained enthusiastic. He has a way of that he wants us to play, and he wants us to be brave, and he wants us to keep to the standard of what a team looks like together. So it's been a long process in terms over the last year. There's been lots of changes, but I think we're reaping the benefits of it now.
I think the great thing having Phil on side is obviously he's a very good coach, but he's been in England teams that have struggled tactically at major tournaments that have failed, and I think he'll understand the importance of getting that right, the balance of the team and the shape, and I think having those failures with when we played in our teams, that he can probably add that experience to you guys to make sure they get that right, or he gets it right, because otherwise he's in trouble.
I think he would always sit there, and I think we would tell stories about obviously the Euro selection and how he missed out, and I think obviously that it's not all about highs in football. There's obviously about coming back from setbacks, whether that's injuries, not getting picked for games, not getting picked for tournaments, and I think pretty much what you're saying, I mean, you can't take that experience away from people, and as a group we really understand that obviously it's not going to be all smooth, and for us to be the best team that we can be, we're going to have to be strong together, but also we're going to have to be honest, and when it comes to the football pitch you want to be playing your best for your country and giving everything.
Do you feel that there's more professionalism now? What would you say is the most important thing, the biggest change that he's made to the build-up to matches?
I think for me, it's the style of play that we play. I think as players, we were desperate to be able to play, like for me as a centre-half, to play out from the back and be able to take risks, which I do every single week for Manchester City. But at England, I thought defensively, especially under Mark Sampson, Hull Power, we were defensively very, very strong and we were really hard to beat, but we were always missing that clinical edge. We maybe restrained our attacking players a lot, whereas now Phil's come in, allowed us to be a little bit more adaptable, where we want control with the ball and we want to attack teams with our energy, our pace and our physicality, but also be the best technical team in the world.
So it's more about you now than the opposition?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we respect our opposition, but at the same time, I think we've got to recognise our strengths, and we've got players that have got unbelievable ability with the ball. I think you've seen the pass from Kira there. I think.
Lovely ball there.
Yeah, I mean, we're able to open teams up now, and we played against America, and we were able to pop the ball around for fun at times, and I think that gives us great confidence ahead of the World Cup.
It seems that things are moving constantly in the right direction for the England women. What still needs to be better? What are the areas where you think you can still take a step forward?
I think from a league point of view, I think I'm in a very fortunate position that I'm able to be fully professional, and I come to the training ground every single day. My life is football, and I think for us to really get better to World Cup standard and to try and improve our league, we need to be ensuring that all our teams are professional and we're allowing girls the best chance to be the best footballers that can be. And I think I've noticed improvement in myself, but also my teammates, because we've had an opportunity to be on the ball every day, whereas there's some teams only training 2-3 times a week, and that's where the difference in class becomes in the league.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, when I first met Steph, I was doing some coaching at Manchester City, and there was only, I think there was 5 girls training with the under 18s and the boys team, because there wasn't that many full-time professionals. Now, Steph was saying, all the girls are full-time professionals. So we're talking, what was that, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
There was only 5 full-time pros at Manchester City. So the progression is there and it's growing. Hopefully it just continues on in that direction.
Looking forward to the summer now, do you just box off the England situation and hope that you're still fit and that you're picked for the summer? How do you then cope? Because it's a massive tournament that's coming up, and there's a real chance for England to do well in it, isn't there? Yeah,
I think obviously coming back with a trophy as well. I think the hype, obviously only the last few days that we've been home, it's obviously you can see that people are getting excited, which is fantastic for us, because I think people are now, it's not pressure, but there's an expectation to go and actually do even better than what probably people thought before. But I think for us, we've got games coming up next week. We know that the competition in the squad's really high. There's so much competition that it's going to be hard for him to leave people out, but at the same time we've got to focus on our club football. And look, I think we're on about Pep being a perfectionist. He's a little bit like that in terms of he knows that we could do better against Brazil. We know that we could keep the ball better against Japan. So for us, we've got 2 friendlies coming up at the beginning of April, which will stand in good stead, and hopefully another part of our preparation ahead of going to France.
But also, I think from a personal perspective for you, there's been a couple of big tournaments where you've been unlucky through injuries in your career. Like, from a personal perspective, you want to go to this World Cup and really impact it, don't you? Yeah,
I think for me, going into the 2015 World Cup, I'd had a little injury to my right knee, and my preparation for that wasn't as good as probably I wanted to be. But I think the older they get, the wiser you get. You kind of look after your body a little bit more. I've played a lot of games over the last month, and for me now it's realising when I can maybe take a little bit of a rest and manage myself, so that when it comes to June at the end of a long season, that I'm ready to go. But I think kind of the conversation we had about the title, I think you've just got to take 1 week at a time, and you've got to really just give everything you can over the next games. And certainly the injuries haven't helped, but at the same time it probably wouldn't have made us the player I am today.
Really interesting to get your thoughts on the way that things are looking for England.